Generative AI, as we all know, has become the biggest buzzword, and the strategies that different organizations are shaping around this wonderful technology are growing to the multitude every day as we speak about it, think more about it, and try to navigate the brilliant landscape that this technology has in store for us. While we talk about generative AI and its impact on decision sciences, different organizations are actually looking at ways of adopting this technology, harnessing its potential, and powering the kind of outcomes that each one of us needs for our businesses. And today, in this discussion, what we are trying to uncover is those exact strategies from both our industry leaders' point of view to understand how they see this wonderful technology powering the outcomes that each one of them is looking for within their organization. So I'm directly going to delve into my first question. And my very first question, Rishi, to you. I would like to understand from you, while we discuss about the different ways and the formats in which we are applying generative AI, and the impact that it has on the organization, what, according to you, can be the influence of this technology on the different decisions that an organization makes?
Thank you, Kanchi, for inviting me as the panelist. I trust all of us know, Gen AI is a big buzzword nowadays, and especially after Chat GPT, which gained so much of popularity in such a short period. Like in the last quarter of 2022, it started. And very soon, everybody started talking about it. Even students started solving their, homework through Chat GPT. And every common person tried to find answer using Chat GPT. When it comes to enterprise, everyone started talking about what we can achieve using generative AI in an enterprise, whether it is developing a new product, whether it is enhancing customer experience, improving employee productivity, and improving other business outcome of the organization. And when it comes to, say, for an example, improving or enhancing customer experience. So the kind of result we can generate using Gen AI, the way we can implement in an enterprise, it can help organization is delivering much better result than what we provide those results using the legacy systems. Here, it is not about providing the generic results. So the way you train on the data, so those can be specific to your organization. These results can be, not only the voice-based, can be pictorial, can be text, and can fulfill the requirement what the customer needs from the organization. And especially in our kind of organization wherein we work to improve the customer experience for different organizations, their end customer. So there are so many use cases wherein it has helped, in delivering those. It is not only CSAT, but the kind of experience Gen AI has been able to deliver. These are phenomenal, and companies are able to, develop their customer experience strategy basis the usage of Gen AIs and use cases which have been implemented in the industry.
That's quite brilliant, actually. And your zoom into the customer satisfaction side of it and how different strategies are being shaped from the enterprise point of view. Brilliant, Rishi. Thank you very much for zooming in on that. Yatin, I'd like to bring this question to you, but from the point of view of product development, because that's one of the aspects that you take care of at MasterCard. From what I would like to understand from you is how exactly is this technology, generative AI, impacting decisions around product development for organizations?
So when we think about AI and generative AI, which is the buzzword right now, we need to think how we want to organize our structure or the teams in a way that the AI can be powerful for it. So we think it from three perspectives, that there are core processes that your business is working on. It could be customer delivery, it could be something which is internal and you build a product out of it. There are some critical processes, and there could be something which are essential processes, and the organization should think it from a perspective of being AI first. So all the systems, groups that you are developing, you should start thinking of how AI will be a part of this group, or these SLAs or other things that you're working on. So like in MasterCard, our core processes is switching transactions. So the payment happens, we switch like more than 1 billion transactions a day, and we have only 300 milliseconds to decide whether this transaction is fraudulent or not. So we need AI to be there to judge based on all the data whether this transaction is fraudulent or not, which becomes our core processes. But then you can build like an ecosystem of AI around it, which helps this product being more better. From an example of how the merchant is behaving, is this merchant is fishy or not? Is the consumer being scammed through a social engineering stuff? If that is, some of those things are happening, which becomes your core processes. But now then you should expand it to other verticals so that your organization also is ready for adoption of those AI techniques, be it, let's say, cybersecurity. A lot of time those things get missed out. People are not ready for such things. Generative AI, for an example, you have a cybersecurity analyst. Generative AI can help take a lot of load off an attack, because let's say there's a denial of service attack taking place. A generative AI can just go through the patterns and let you know, okay, these are the types of attack which is happening, this is what it would be, and I know how it can be mitigated. Then it will go on its own. It's like an automated decision. You should have a human in the loop. So if there's a new thing, the AI is not sure, then you can have your cybersecurity expert looking into it. Else they would be figuring out other areas to concentrate on. Whereas the third process will be like operational. So for an example, you have reports. Like in the financial sector, we have a lot of compliance report, suspicious activity report that you have to submit to regulatory authorities. All of those is something which generative AI can take care of. Like you don't need analyst, which is like very premium, very difficult to get such talent, spending their time on routine tasks. So if we club that strategic point from that perspective, you have the AI inbuilt, and then those AI technologies will power your decision strategy, be it automatic decisions, be it building more customer-friendly or more hyper-personalized products that you want to offer, and always being ready for various events. So you are not like 9 to 5 company and then the people will respond. You are 24/7. A lot of decisions are being taken by AI, which is helping the org.
Absolutely, brings in quite a lot of autonomy with it, and I totally concur with that assertion. To our audiences, just a show of hands about how many of you within your organizations have started experimenting or have deployed generative AI within the decision process that you already have started doing or are going to do in the next 3 to 6 months. So we see that there is a little hesitation still in adopting it within the actual decision pipelines. Well, global studies say that about 76% of organizations in the future, within the next 3 to 6 months, think that generative AI is going to be a very crucial element to actually power their outcomes to drive the real competitiveness that each one of us is looking for. So that's where we're all headed. And with that futuristic aspect in mind, Rishi, I'm going to come to you with the next question. While we're speaking about powering outcomes and drawing all the imperatives around generative AI, the one aspect that we are obviously looking for is the right balance between risk management and the actual adoption of generative AI. Where do you think we need to draw a line, and what's the right chord to strike that balance?
Okay. So one thing is, all the clients of ours, they ask us like, how can Gen AI complement the delivery which we provide? So it is like, how can we automate many tasks which are, whether, it is manual or lot of, people interference is required. So, whether it is, say, chatbot, voice bot, and, the other automations which are already there. So everyone is talking about, improving efficiency, enhancing efficiency of the services which are being provided to the client, and how can we optimize the cost. So it is like, it is not that we can wait for it for longer period of time, but the ask is how fast we can implement Gen AI or AI-based solution for business, delivery to improve the outcome of the business. Though we have to look at different other aspect also, like it cannot be a generic response to the enterprise clients. The way we get the result from ChatGPT, these have to be very, very specific to the organization, and to be precise to what our client or customer is asking for. So that's why we have to be very, very cautious also, I would say, while we are deploying the Gen AI in our environment, because it should not be biased, and all of us know about like deepfake which has been there, and how it is impacting our ecosystem. So that is also, pitfall of using Gen AI, blindly, without looking at our use cases, our internal consumption of these technologies, and how ethically we can implement it. And especially, GDPR or like now DPDP Act in India. So we have to be very, very cautious that how we are handling those, personal data, PI, SPI of the public, of the people. So it should not happen on the general data, rather than it should be specific, and we have to be responsible enough so that we are able to maintain the privacy of those data which we are holding with us.
Absolutely. Quite brilliant, and I do have a view on the clock. So very quickly, Yatin, I want to bring the same question to you, but from a little different aspect. Rishi touched upon all the pitfalls or the challenges that come with generative AI. So I want to understand from you, what would be the right kind of adoption strategies with responsible use that can actually give us a way to navigate these challenges?
Yes, sure. So how I see generative AI playing a technology is like, if you see a car, not every car manufacturer is creating an engine. So you might borrow your LLM from, let's say, an OpenAI or a Google or an open source one, but the product is yours to build. Now, you can be a net consumer of a generative AI technology, or you might be creating it. So if you are creating such technologies, I think what you need to think about is that the data that you are using is fine for the model to consume, because we know like the New York Times has put a case against OpenAI because they use their data. So such things I think will get resolved in 6 months to a year, but there should be a data strategy around how you are pushing your data to such LLMs or foundational models when you are creating a product. If you are consuming this product, you should need to think about that your data that you have is the key, because as Rishi was saying that we don't want a generic thing, we want like something pinpointed to our thing, and that pinpointing on a Gen AI would happen when you expose your data. But you want your data, which is your gold mine, to remain with you. So if your people are using ChatGPT, you should have like guardrails or a process around it, or you should have an internal version of generative AI so your data is not going out. We have seen a lot of companies proprietary code base has been leaked on ChatGPT because their software engineers were using it to debug their code. It could be that you're working on a proposal, which is the new product idea, using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT spits it out to someone of your competitor. So you need to think about it. It has to be adopted because it increases the productivity by a factor of 10 to 12. But you need to have like some guardrails. And when you're launching a solution, think it from an adversarial testing perspective. It should be thoroughly tested. And as it is very new, just think it like maybe test it internally and have some human factor evaluating the results constantly, not going automatically completely in the very start, and then slowly realize how the technology is moving to come from a generative AI point. One thing I'd also like to add that what generative AI we right now think is just ChatGPT, image creation, voice generation. But generative AI technology powers a lot of other stuff if you think about it from your organization perspective. Like in MasterCard, we synthetically create attacks or frauds that might happen, which already might not have taken place, just to be ahead of the attackers that will come to us. So that is also generative AI, but not like something which is B2C, but that is for internal adoption. So it creates a lot of synthetic data. So if you think our data is very less, such generic tools might be able to help you augment and bring up more synthetic data for you to actually walk on the journey of a generative AI process.
Quite brilliant, and that's as much as we have time for. Thank you for bringing those aspects, the both of you, from workflow optimization to powering customer experiences to developing new and innovative products. The opportunities and the applications of generative AI are actually manifold, and that's exactly where we're heading. So just want to leave you with one quote. If Shakespeare were to write something in the year 2024, it wouldn't be to be or not to be is the question, but would be to Gen AI or not Gen AI is the question. So that's what each of us needs to ponder for our own organizations. And with that, all three of us will take your leave. Thank you very much. Thank you both for that amazing conversation.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Please stay back on the stage for a while. We would like to present you the little jade planters as a token of our appreciation. I would request Ms. Kachi to please present the planters to Mr. Rishi and Mr. Yatin.
Thank you very much. Thank you once again.
Thank you.